I now would like to invite Leo Zipp to come forward and to share with us the good works, the annual Catholic Appeal, and his support, and inviting us to support as well. If he looks familiar to you, he should. Leo is, in fact, the Grand Knight of our Council of Knights of Columbus here in the parish. So let us receive Leo with great openness.
As you know, Father Freitag asked me to give the talk this weekend on the annual Catholic Appeal, which I accept as an honor. To give you a little background, my wife, Jan, and I became members of this parish in 1987. 10 years later, employment took our family to San Diego before we returned in 2011. Jen and I have experienced an incredible growth with our St. Monica family through a variety of parish ministries. Though we've enjoyed and continue to enjoy the many spiritual and fraternal fruits here, we understand there's a broader need within our larger community under the leadership of Archbishop Sarton. This archdiocese covers 172 parishes and missions in Western Washington. The annual Catholic Appeal helps distribute funds to this larger family in addition to supporting 60 ministries and services. Just within Catholic Community Services, funds from the appeal are used to provide care for the homeless and low-income people, transitional and permanent housing, and a variety of programs to help children and families in various levels of need, including pregnancy and parenting support that help young mothers through their pregnancy and their children through their 5th birthday. The annual Catholic Appeal also supports staff and parish ministerial training and evangelization, marriage, and development of the Christian person at all ages and circumstances. This is just a small sample of what our Archdiocese supports. The administrative expense of the annual Catholic Appeal is incredibly efficient. Most charities average between 20 and 30 cents on the dollar in overhead expenses, while those covered through this appeal are very, very low at only 7 cents on the dollar. That's pretty good, right? Well, you'd think that this level of efficiency and effectiveness would garner broad support with our own St. Monica community. What was shared with me was a bit of a surprise. Last year, less than 1/3 of our St. Monica parish families contributed to the appeal. So I pondered, what could cause this low rate of participation? I think we can all admit that Father Freitag and our deacons might not entertain the congregation like Jay Leno or Johnny Carson did with their opening monologues. But you also have to admit that Leno and Carson weren't very effective in shepherding souls to heaven, as our clergy are called to do. And I'd rate the quality of the homilies we receive as exceeds expectations. So let's rule out bad homilies for the poor participation. I did some additional research and learned that charitable giving at the national level declined during the Great Recession of 2007 and 2008, which makes sense. Times were hard and uncertain then, but today is different. The national and certainly our local economies have fully recovered, but the giving participation rate never recovered. Perhaps some forgot or became out of sync with past practices. I'll repeat, last year, less than 1/3 of our parish families contributed to the annual Catholic Appeal. And I know we can do better. We need to get back into the fulfillment habit of giving. At the end of your pews are pledge envelopes. So if those at the end of the pews can please take one and then pass them down so that every family has one in your pew. Now, you'll notice on the envelope that there's a website address you can pull up on your smartphone. Has anyone made a phone call or sent a text message while in church? Well, you still can't do that. But you will be allowed right now to use your smartphone to pull up the annual Catholic Appeal website to directly make your pledge. There's nothing like the present to get it done. So while I continue to speak, please fill in and complete the envelopes or make your pledges online using your smartphones. Now you may ask, what should I give to the annual Catholic Appeal? God has given each of us gifts, graces, talents, and abilities, which are to be shared responsibly and wisely with others. Faithful stewardship is more than occasional acts of charity and service. It's a way of life, a commitment to the giving our time, talent, and treasure in gratitude for all the blessings we have received. We are continuously challenged to make our financial gifts from substance, not abundance, in proportion to the blessings we have received. Of the 1/3 within our parish that gave, the average contribution to the appeal was $683, but know that a gift of any amount is important. The 2019 appeal goal for St. Monica's share is approximately $183,000, and any amount above that will help cover operating costs. So the goal we're setting within our parish is $250,000. We know that the funds used by the appeal are allocated to programs with the highest needs consistent with our Catholic values. As we learned, these programs are delivered efficiently and effectively, and why wouldn't we all say yes to this appeal? Personally, giving to the appeal gives me comfort that I'm being proactive in helping the needs within our broader family of Western Washington. I also know that if these community needs are not being met, then government may try to fill that void. And the big problem I have with that is that government cannot do it as efficiently and effectively. And there would be a high risk that they would deliver a service inconsistent with our Catholic values. Jesus said in one of his parables, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of those who are members of my family, you did it to me." You have an opportunity to positively support in a truly Christian way the destiny of many families in Western Washington through this appeal. This is why this year's campaign theme continues to be a future full of hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you to you and Jan for all you do around here in the parish. Leo will actually be in the South Vestibule there. And so if you have your envelopes ready to go today and you're heading out that way, you can just hand them off to Leo. Ask Greg Kleekin. He'll be here in the North Vestibule if you're headed that way and you have your envelope ready. Or Deacon Larry or myself will be out front. You can hand it off to us. If you want a little more time to think and pray about it, that's great. Just when you decide, drop it in the mail or bring it next Sunday and drop it in the general collection. I would ask that this year in particular, that when you're considering it, you're praying about it, that you do it in honor and thanksgiving for the years of service of Archbishop Sarton here in the diocese as well. So even if you want to just add on there, if that's the case, thank you, Archbishop Sarton.